Assalamu alaikum guys, I hope everyone is well as can be given the current situation that's going on in the world right now. But yeah, let's talk about it. So I had a question come in from one of you guys. I'll read it out to you. It says, "Hey sis, just wanted to say I rate how much you post about Palestine. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward your effort. Do you have any tips on how to cope with all the sadness and depression I'm feeling from all of this? I feel very helpless and I'm struggling with day-to-day life. Jazakallah khair." Okay, so first of all, I just want to say, if you don't know what's going on in Palestine right now, I would suggest you definitely go and educate yourself, because there is a genocide that is taking place. So there are quite a few Instagram accounts that have shared a lot of information on this. I will list it down in the description below, so if you guys want to check it out, please do, because knowledge is power, and we all definitely need to be educated on what is actually going on right now in the world. Secondly, I just want to say I can totally relate to these feelings. There's so many emotions that we're all dealing with at the moment. I think this is definitely something that has hit the Ummah really hard, and we're all feeling that deep sadness within our hearts, and also the guilt from just going about day to day, a lot of anger about the propaganda that's being spread. But yeah, I'm gonna inshallah share some tips on how to kind of deal with these various emotions. So firstly, I just want to say, please don't feel helpless or powerless or feel like there's nothing you can do, because that is just not true. First of all, you have the biggest form of aid for these people right in the palm of your hand, and that is the power of dua. Like, if you feel as though there's nothing you can do, the best thing that you can do for these people is wake up at tahajjud time, an hour before fajr, get on your hands and knees on the prayer mat, pray to Allah. Can you imagine how impactful it will be if everyone, all the millions and millions of Muslims all around the world, if we all woke up one night for tahajjud and we made sincere dua to Allah? Of course Allah will hear our duas. Secondly, I just want to say, posting on social media is definitely making a difference. Please don't think that posting isn't making a difference and it's pointless, because that's just not true. If it weren't doing anything, they would not go out of their way to try and censor everything they possibly can, right? So don't feel like, oh yeah, they're censoring it anyway, what's the point? Just because they're censoring it, it doesn't mean we're not going to put up a fight. It doesn't mean we're going to make it easy for them. Keep posting, because there's power in numbers. They can't put down everything. They can't take down everything. They can't shadow ban everything. And subhanallah, we're in times where we hold so much power within our phones, and it's our duty to be the voices that they have lost. We have to be their voices. So keep posting, keep spreading that awareness. There is a lot of propaganda that is being shared right now, and in order to fight that propaganda, we need to share the truth. And there's so much power in haqq. There is so much power. So don't hide away from the truth. Stand with the truth and keep sharing. And inshallah, I believe it with all my heart that in the end we will prevail. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to say was, we should definitely be controlling the amount of media that we are consuming. And that is something that I advocate for, regardless of this situation. But especially with this situation, because, we're all guilty of it. I'm guilty of it myself, where we're scrolling for hours and hours, just getting lost in how much horror there is out there. And that is going to have an impact on our mental health. Firstly, because, at the end of the day, we're human beings, and Allah has made us a certain type of way. And it reminds me of, the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he said, if we were able to hear the cries and the screams of the grave, then he was afraid that we would never bury our dead. And that's a really powerful thing, because of course, like, you know, Allah has the power. If he wanted to, he could have, right? But at the end of the day, he didn't, because we wouldn't be able to function. We wouldn't be able to carry out our day-to-day life and do the things that we had to do in order to, you know, move forward as Muslims and, you know, do what we need to do at the end of the day. We need to look after ourselves. I'm not saying completely stop looking, because of course, keep up to date with the current affairs, but control how much of your time you're spending just watching things. Rather, you can use that time to make dua, to pray, to read Quran, to do other things that would be of benefit to not only them but to yourself as well. Because at the end of the day, it will be of no benefit to yourself, to the Palestinians, to the Ummah, to your family, if you are not in good mental health. And we need to look after ourselves. We need to look after our mental health, because how are we going to be strong as an Ummah if we don't do that, right? And I think, subhanAllah, in a sense, there's so much beauty within this dark situation, because I do believe it has woken us up a lot, and it has brought us together as a ummah. And you just think, how powerful could we be if we were more united, if we weren't ripping each other apart, like looking at everyone's faults. If we put all of that aside and just came together, there's so much strength in our voice. So things to kind of provide you comfort when dealing with such a heavy load of sadness in your day-to-day life. You know, remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not burden a soul with more than they can bear. And wallahi, like, I see it, because I have not seen any human being as resilient as the Palestinian people. They really, really put us to shame. They're like, makes you realize what a soft life we're living, because you can't put their spirit down. Like, I've seen so many videos, subhanallah, where their faith in Allah really does show, where they say, you know, you can do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, Allah is with us. And may Allah grant them a beautiful ending. All the people who have passed and all the people who are struggling, find comfort in knowing that there surely is a great, great reward for them in Jannah, inshallah. And I think it really does put everything in perspective for us, because it's just making us realize that really and truly, how temporary is this life, and the world really is a prison for the believers. Allah has said it, the world is a prison for the believers, and our true life is in the akhirah, it's in the next life. So we're here as travelers, and it's obviously not going to be an easy journey, but Allah has put everyone where they're meant to be and where they are best handled to their situation. And I think, you know, it is our responsibility now to look at the situation that we're in and be grateful for everything that Allah has blessed us with, but not only by sitting and saying, yeah, we're really lucky, alhamdulillah, but utilizing it. Like, utilize what you have been given. Utilize the fact that you are healthy enough to go get up every morning and go and spread the message of Islam, you know, give in charity, spread goodness, spread a kind word, strengthen your relationship with Allah, educate yourself on Islam, because at the end of the day, Allah has put you in this situation because you're perfectly fit to be in this situation. That's not to say that you're forgetting them, because wallahi, like, with every step, I know for me especially, like, they're in my du'as, they're in my thoughts, and the best thing that I can do for them is pray for them and to not waste my time. At the end of the day, Allah has chosen them to protect that holy land, and what a great job they're doing of it, wallahi. Like, who knows what we would have been in that situation and how we would have crumbled and how we would have fled, but they're so resilient, they're like lions. And at the end of the day, there is a prophecy and Palestine will be free. So we need to have faith in that, and we need to remember that it's not us or any of the Muslim leaders or anyone who can ultimately grant us victory or grant them victory. At the end of the day, only Allah. Victory comes only from Allah, and that's something that we learn in the Battle of Badr, right? Because where there were 313 against 1,000, victory came to the Muslims because of Allah's aid, because He sent down angels to aid them, not because they were strong in numbers. If you look into the seerah of the Prophet, there was other battles where the Muslims were really high in numbers, but they still wasn't victorious, because at the end of the day, they put their faith in the numbers, not in Allah. So we as Muslims, we have to put our faith in Allah, and we have to believe that in the end, Allah will grant them victory. Never ever lose faith in that. So another thing we can also do is give aid, give in charity. Remember, charity does not decrease your wealth, and really and truly, when you give that charity towards the Palestinian people, that is their rizq at the end of the day, and how beautiful is it that Allah has destined that for them through you. So give as much as you can, and inshallah I will also list some donation links in the description box. I am a counsellor, so if anyone is struggling, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to speak to you, and you know, at the end of the day, we need to stick together and help each other through this time. I just think if anything can come out of this tragedy, it brings us closer together as an ummah. You know, that we need to support each other, we need to be there for each other, because you know, like I said, we're stronger together. But yeah, and always remember, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, inshallah. Anyway, I will link my Instagram also below. Send me any messages, any suggestions of videos you'd like to see. But yeah, I think I'll end it there. Assalamu alaikum.